Hello. Checking in on this Wednesday. I would have checked in yesterday, but I had two different doctor's appointments. I need surgery. Not urgently, but to improve quality of life. Surgery is highly recommended. So that's something. But I will say that the doctor that I met with yesterday had just the best personality, was so much fun. We were making jokes the whole time. I'm pretty sure I want to be her best friend. So it's very relieving when you meet a medical provider that listens, that educates, that you can tell just enjoys their job. So that made it easier. So I did leave the house yesterday, but luckily one appointment was a block outside of my neighborhood, and my second appointment was across the street from that one. So I was still within my safety bubble, or just outside of my safety bubble. And I didn't have to bring my son. My husband took off work and worked from home. And so I wasn't super nervous. And my first appointment was with my dermatologist, who I love. She's so great. So it wasn't so difficult leaving the house. But, needing surgery, not knowing what my portion is going to be responsible, like I need to call my insurance company and find out how much I need to pay out of pocket for it. It's a lot. And the procedure that I need to have done will not allow me to massage for maybe a week or two. Not that I'm doing a lot right now. I have one this Saturday. Hopefully my body and my brain will cooperate. I've had migraines almost every single day lately, to varying severity. But yeah, I might be getting a job at a spa downtown, and we've been talking about this for months. And I would just be like an on-call person. So if one of the therapists goes out of town, they can call me in, and they want to get me in to do some training for like what type of treatments that they offer, and fill out paperwork and stuff. But now I'm just like, do I wait till after the surgery? I still need to find out again. Once I know if I can financially make it work somehow, then I can schedule it, and then I can probably know more. So I have stuff I need to do today. And I just want to sit and do art and work on art and, do the things that I need to do to try to fill up my Etsy shop and make some money. Thinking about like my intrusive images and like thoughts and stuff, and like the paranoia aspect of my like mental health. And this goes back to when I was a kid. Like I grew up in I don't want to say small town, a smallish town in Iowa. And when I was a kid, I thought that Saddam Hussein was hiding in my shower. So every time before I could go to the bathroom, I had to pull the shower curtains aside to make sure he wasn't in there. Why he would be in my shower in small town Iowa, I don't know. But my brain was convinced, because of Desert Storm, that that's where he was. And, we moved to Florida, and I would draw schematics in my sketchbook for a loft bed that had like a panic room in it, because I was always afraid that somebody was going to come and get me. So, this is something that I've dealt with my whole life, and I've always been nervous about like the bad men coming to get me. I've never been kidnapped. I've never had threats to be kidnapped. I don't know. I don't watch scary movies for this reason. I have pretty vivid nightmares as well. I've been having a lot more lately. And so I don't watch scary movies for that reason, because I just can't. I don't need more reasons to be paranoid, paranoid. But yeah, I don't wish the feeling that something bad is going to happen at all times on anybody. Like I'm always, I feel like my body is always just like braced for like bad news. And I know this comes from like different traumas of my past. I do have complex PTSD. So that definitely comes into play, but it's not easy, especially always thinking that something's going to happen to my son. And, you know, I had a miscarriage in 2010 in my first marriage, and it took me 15 years to get my rainbow baby. And I've been in a group of people who have lost babies or lost pregnancies, and we all share the same spiritual viewpoints. And so it's nice to have a group of people that you can just kind of vent to about how unfair it is that these things happened. And I've known them for 10 years now. But I think part of being a loss parent means you're always waiting for something to happen. You're always waiting for the bad news. I know that I essentially held my breath from the moment that I found out I was pregnant to the moment that I heard my son start crying after they pulled him out of my sunroof. And the anxiety got so much worse. And I wouldn't say it was like postpartum psychosis necessarily, but the anxiety, the depression got so bad. But now we have the OCD coming in with the intrusive thoughts and images about bad things happening to him. So I just become a hermit. And it's definitely not a way to live. And this is where, you know, even with therapy every week, even being on medications, I still struggle with the courage to leave the house. And courage is my word for 2026, oddly enough. And this is where I will once again say a service jog would be that medical device that I could use to go with me and go with my son to go places, and they can be the one that's paying attention to the people in our area, in our surroundings, to where I don't have to be as attentive to the surroundings and can be more attentive to my son. Because one thing that I worry about is not being 100% there for my son, because I'm always worried about stuff happening to him. And it just sucks because he deserves to have a present mom. And sometimes I just feel like I'm not giving him everything that he needs and deserves because of my mental illness. But I think if I was doing a bad job, somebody would have told me by now. My husband, my dad. It's just, you know, we are our own worst critics, right? So I just can't not think about all the things that I could be doing and should be doing. And one of my therapists, when I was in intensive outpatient therapy, would say, don't should on yourself. And she's right, but it's so easy to. And I know we all do it, but those are kind of my thoughts for today. It's just, I have a solution. I have a hypothesized solution to my issues on something that could help me with my day-to-day, but getting to the point where I can make that happen seems impossible from a financial standpoint. Finances right now are a big cause of stress for me because I was not anticipating being out of work for 2 years. I wasn't anticipating being pregnant last year and having a baby, because I was told by my first OBGYN that my hormones were not where they needed to be in order to have a pregnancy happen. So it kind of caught us off guard. And I'm not mad about it. I love my son. He's the most beautiful creature I've ever seen in my life. But me not being able to work, me not wanting to work full time because I don't want to put my son in daycare, it's just kind of throwing things off. And I wish I was streaming more so I can build back up my viewership, so I could try to make some more money there. And I need to pimp out my art some more and kind of have some more lower end options for people. But I don't know. I just hate worrying about money. I wish we didn't live in a system where the capitalism creature was always breathing down your throat and the back of your neck. You know what I mean? Anyway, I hope you have a good day. Bye.